I think we are seeing very, very positive, upbeat results. We had a record first-day turnout for Republicans in North Carolina yesterday. Just landed in Georgia, and the numbers that we've seen from the first several days here, very, very positive. So I think all across the country right now, what we're seeing in terms of voter registration numbers, the absentee ballot requests in places like Pennsylvania, North Carolina, the early vote numbers that we've seen across the country, Arizona, North Carolina, Georgia, all trending very, very positive for President Trump and the Republican candidates.
We talked to Loeffler yesterday, and she said in the first 2 days of voting had 10% of the entire voter turnout of the last election. Like, that's pretty awesome. What is the next early vote state that's out there?
You know, I think we've got a lot of them that are coming online pretty much at this point. And, 2 weeks out, we're entering the window where most of these states are coming online. We've got kind of a 14-day deadline where we're going to have a whole bunch of states coming on. You know, it's interesting because obviously, once upon a time it was election day period. Now what we're seeing, 50% or more of the votes are going to be cast before election day. And I'm really glad that we have spent the time and effort to invest in an early vote program and make sure that we are, from our campaign's perspective, we're talking to those voters before they go vote. You know, if you just hold all your ads, you hold all your mail until the weekend before the elections, you're wasting a lot of money and you're letting a lot of people go vote before they're informed voters. So we're really pretty happy with what we're seeing in these first rounds.
We talked about the Faith and Freedom Coalition, Ralph Reed, and he highlighted who they're exactly knocking on. So they're focusing on social conservatives, low propensity voters, so voted in 0 or 1 of the last 3 elections. And they're saying they're knocking on the doors of half of the number of people that the entire Republican Party knocked on 4 years ago, just as one group. What is your door knocking campaign? Who are you focused on and where?
We are focused on low propensity voters. That is really, truly the push. And we are combining door knocks with phone calls, with direct mail, with digital communications, emails, text, the whole bit, and really, truly trying to dynamite those folks off of the couch and get them up and get them out.
Okay, what's been the feedback of that? First of all, what is a low propensity voter, and what are your results in meeting them in that way?
That's a great question. A low propensity voter is somebody who is very likely to vote for Donald Trump if they vote, but they haven't voted in 2 years or 4 years or 6 years. The Democrats are going to identify somebody the same kind of way, but it really truly is, somebody that only votes once every cycle, or two, that does not, not a very regular voter. And so, what we're seeing in our first initial assessments out of Georgia, out of North Carolina, out of Arizona, out of Pennsylvania, is that we're having a really good response rate from the low propensity voters.
Ralph Reed was saying in their previous elections, just that group doing it, if they see a 5 to 11% success rate of getting that low propensity voter to go vote, like, that's good, right? Because of the number of doors they're knocking on, if they get 10%, that's 40,000 votes in Georgia. And Trump lost Georgia by 12,000. So they're doing good work there. And I only bring them up because that's the only group I have numbers on here. So do you see like a 10% success rate of talking to these low propensity voters?
So what I'm seeing is right now, overall, we're seeing a solid uptick in these numbers. I don't have anything specific to give you yet. Our guys are still kind of sifting through the first several days in Georgia and North Carolina. But I will say that the low propensity voters, in terms of their percentage of the overall vote, is dramatically higher than what we've typically seen. So it doesn't seem like we are cannibalizing our election day votes. It looks like we're getting new people out, which is the entire focus of what we've been building for the last 6 months.
What's the Senate race right now you're most excited about? Because it looks like all the polls are trending positive for Republicans. So which one are you looking at? You're like, oh, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I spent Monday in Ohio with Bernie Moreno, and we're now showing him with a 3-point lead. And that's a pretty big shift from where he was, even a month ago. Really excited about what we're seeing in Wisconsin with Eric Hovde. I'm going up there to spend some time with him next week. and he has really shifted that map basically to a tie. So very excited about those guys. Brian McCormick up in Pennsylvania continues to impress, and Pennsylvania is obviously a tough state. And what's remarkable in all three of those states is the staggering amount of money that the Democrats are spending up there. Hundreds of millions of dollars in states that have just never seen it in a Senate race before.
So I want to win all the states. Yesterday, we spent a lot of time in Georgia because we were talking about Kelly, and we had like an hour of people from Georgia calling in, and it was exciting. I want to win Georgia by 20 points. I want Georgia to be. I want to so prove that last go around was this weird fluke. I want it to be such a crushing. That who's the person who says she won the governorship but lost?
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, I want Stacey Abrams. I want it to be such a crushing defeat that Stacey Abrams is like, you know what, I did lose, whatever. Like, I just want it to be so embarrassing for them in Georgia. And the other state that I want a solid victory in, I'll take squeakers in the other state, Pennsylvania. I want Pennsylvania to be the new Florida and Ohio, where they're not even swing states anymore. And this be like the moment where it's just like, it's over, it breaks, and it's now a red state forevermore. What are you doing in Pennsylvania for the next 17 days?
We are going to be living in Pennsylvania. You are going to see President Trump, J.D. Vance, myself, Laura Trump. We've got a bus tour that's going to be going across the state next week with a lot of key surrogates. We had the bus in North Carolina. I was with them yesterday for the first day of early voting. I actually got to swing the tour through my home county of Gaston and vote there. But we've got Pennsylvania is really, truly one of the target, probably the top target state for us entire country right now. And we feel very upbeat, very excited. We are seeing that Dem applications for absentee ballots are way down versus where they were in 24 or in 20 and 22. We're seeing Republican applications are way up. So we're excited about the trend lines that we're seeing in the early vote period there. But all the polling in Pennsylvania right now is showing the president with, an inside the margin lead, but it's definitely very, very durable and very consistent.
Are you just hanging out in Philly and Pittsburgh? Are you in Gettysburg and State College? What's the plan?
We are all over the place. I think that what we've seen is a lot of time up in Reading and Luzerne County. We also were in Pittsburgh last week for an event that I did. Went to Gettysburg as well. We're in Harrisburg, so we're blanketing the state, and we're going to certainly spend time in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Just because your raw numbers are so big there, that if we can turn out 5% more vote for the Republicans in a big city like that, it has a material impact on what's going to happen statewide. But the nice thing is, when you look at Butler, that is, everybody kind of thinks it's Pittsburgh, but you're an hour outside of Pittsburgh, in the heart of Pennsylvania. And obviously that rally the president had was one for the ages.
Wow, Butler, Pennsylvania. I can't wait to see the poll. I want to see monumental record turnout in Western North Carolina, just to stick it to them. And I want Butler, Pennsylvania to be just like 100% vote for John, like just crushing wins in some of these places, just for the theatrics of it all. Tell us about Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden, and I heard that kicks off an arena tour. What do you know about this?
Well, we're excited. I mean, the president has wanted to go to Madison Square Garden really since we started even talking about laying out the campaign. And the excitement for this within New York City with people wanting to fly in from all across the country is going to be tremendous. I think the press coverage, we're talking about an international event. I think that we're going to have cameras there that are going to rival, frankly, what we had at the convention. So you're talking, an earned media event that is going to be, very, very significant. So there's a lot of direct impact on the country nationally in terms of our earned media exposure that we're going to have for it. The lineup is going to be spectacular. And I think, honestly, right now, there's a lot of focus on getting kind of our surrogates out in these battleground states. But, one of the things that I'm excited about, now we've got Elon Musk is doing a tour across Pennsylvania. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard are doing a series of events, out in Arizona and across the country. And this really, kind of is coming back to a common sense campaign and really, truly trying to make sure that we're hitting, not just the base Republican voters, but we're really talking to the independents, the undecided voters who are trying to make up their mind right now about which way they want to vote over the last 18 days here.
And I mean this genuinely. I'm not. I can handle the flippant, like, oh, she has nothing. But genuinely, from RNC chair in the mind of the DNC chair, what is Kamala's play the next 17 days?
I think they're still trying to figure this out. I think it is significant that they went absolutely no press. We're not going to talk to the press. We're going to wall her off. Then all of a sudden it was, hey, we've got to go talk to the press. And obviously those appearances have not gone very well for them. They have tried out 3, 4, 5 different attack lines on President Trump. The last one, she's now calling him unstable and unsteady, comparing him to Joe Biden while still saying that Joe Biden is perfectly fit to be the president of the United States. It's really remarkable to think that that's where they want to spend their time. Look, her missing the Alfred Smith dinner last night in New York City, a straight-up insult to the Catholic voters all across the country. These are the types of campaign missteps that they're making right now. The fact that they're trying to solidify the black votes, the fact that they're trying to solidify the women's votes, which they've always taken for granted, shows me that they're concerned. We saw reports yesterday that they're pulling TV advertising out of Milwaukee to try and shore up Philadelphia because they're concerned there. Really shows you that they're, I think, scrambling right now. It really looks like it's a campaign in free fall.